All right, so why is the subject of polygyny important for people to comprehend, get, and understand? Well, I'll tell you the reason why. Because it's the subject that brings about a challenge in people's lives, both male and female, and religions like never before. You know it's got to be truth because there's so much opposition and there's so many lies and fairy tales, a lot of mental gymnastics, a lot of people twisting, warping, and distorting words and ideals of the book. And if you notice, some time ago I've had a debate on this with a pastor, and of course I was supposed to have a few others, but they all backed out. I done had some theologians, and of course anybody been listening to me any length of time, I put the challenge out to any theologian in the world. I just didn't, and it's amazing. They want to talk about everything else but that. It's amazing. But then behind the scenes and amongst their congregations, guess what they talk about? Polygyny and the ills of the biblical families and how that is sin and it's evil. Only one problem. Y'all didn't define it as sin. And if polygyny is sin, then you just got finished calling the creator a sinner, because according to Jeremiah chapter 3, and I can go on in many other places, even the creator himself is a polygynist. Go figure that out. But there's nothing that incites so much rage, both male and female, as the people who are full of idolatry and the worship of their own selves. And when you bring this subject up, it is utterly amazing. It is utterly amazing what it causes. But I will tell you this, a man will find out if he's a man or not, and a woman will find out if she's a woman or not. A man will find out if he even knows the definition of what a husband is or not, and a woman will find out if she knows what the definition of a wife is and to be a helpmeet. I'm telling you, it is bad what goes on. And I'm telling you, Satan is entrenched and so deep in people's minds and souls that they will do anything that they can possible, use any type of manipulation tactics, any type of control, any type of witchcraft to try to chart and change a true man's course. They would do and use anything that they can. You remember when Satan came to the woman in the garden? He's still doing the same thing today. He still is doing the same thing today. I said this a long time ago, and I said it just a few weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again now. If I was to listen to what any woman in my life has ever said concerning biblical truth and this lifestyle of serving Yah, I definitely will be on my way to hell right now. And we will be just like Christianity. We would have a form of godliness. We'll really be woman serving, worshiping. That's what man really would do. He will be acquiescing and capitulating to the woman's ideal of what worship is and truth is, and he will be neutered as a man. He wouldn't have any patriarchal rule or authority whatsoever at all. Like I've always said, you'll be sitting up there watching this silhouette of a man, but you'll be looking at the real man when you see that woman who's the neck that turns the head of that man. And that is nothing but satanic. It's satanic to the core, all the way to the core, and it ain't gonna fly in Yah's kingdom whatsoever at all. Let me make sure that this thing is still recorded, because I don't want to be sitting up here and doing something. Hallelujah. Uh-oh. Is it there? Is it on? Hallelujah. 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 Yep, it's still on. Okay. I want to be sitting up here and doing a video, and then I'm wasting my breath, and you can't even hear what I'm saying. But understanding and knowing what real, true biblical family is the ultimate test for a man and a woman. Now listen to me. I do not believe in any way, shape, fashion, or form that a man has to be polygynous. If he chooses to be monogamous, he can. But just like when you had trouble with one woman in the flesh, you get two, you're going to have more. You get three, you're going to have more. It's just the ideal of how you're going to manage it and what you're going to do about it. That's the deal. But I know one thing, if we're going to be in the restoration of all things, And I know this, the biblical true family has got to be restored in this daytime and hour. I do commend our sisters that have reached such a level of maturity that they are expressing that if their husband is in a position financially to be able to cover a woman, that they are actually looking for someone to help in the family that could be a good help to their husband. That's a beautiful thing. I mean, these sisters have got a spirit about them that no doubt they're going to have a place in the kingdom. They're just like the prayer warriors. They're going to have a place in the kingdom. You know I'm going to have a place in the kingdom. But just because I'm a pastor and I preach and teach, that means I done put myself to be the least of all people. That doesn't make me great because I have to get up in front of people and cry loud and spare not and lift up my voice like a trumpet. I'm just a mouthpiece. That's all it is to it. I'm striving to enter into the same kingdom as many of you are. But I know one thing, I am going, and there will be no woman ever on this earth that's going to control me, manipulate me, tell me what to do in any way, shape, fashion, or form, because I'm just not that kind of man. I will try to use long suffering with a woman. I will. But when it gets to the breaking point where I can tell that she is just simply not going to change her course, I'm going to help change the course for her. I'm long suffering like my King, my Yah, my Elohim, and I expect all men to be that way. But like I told one woman here recently in the ministry, you keep on with your shenanigans. You keep on doing what you're doing. I promise you, you're going to find this man, he's going to get to a breaking point. And when he gets to that point where he's broke, he ain't coming back. And from that point on, your life is going to change forever, and it ain't going to be good for you. Because once he's gone, there ain't nothing that I can say. There's nothing no elders can say. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing that the creator of the universe can say. He ain't coming back. Listen, at this point, when you should have been submissive, when you should have been obedient, when you should have kept your mouth shut, when you should have stopped all them theatrics and stuff, when you should have. He put up with you taking the children, running away. He put up with you getting restraining orders on him and stuff, and now he's broke. He's unchecked out. Let me give all y'all wisdom. Women are mostly driven by their emotions. That's why the Most High Yah don't want them to ever be leaders in any assemblies, and neither can they ever be any leaders, because they live for the here and the now. They don't give a damn about the future. And that's why you women better hope you got a good man in front of you that will care about the future, because see, you're not going to care about the future until you get there. And if you destroyed everything in your path on the way to the future, and there is no future for you, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Nobody to blame but yourself, because you've been instrumental and vocal in making sure that you have the future that you want, because you got exactly what you want, because your mouth couldn't stop. And instead of being led by the word of y'all, you were led by your emotions and feelings. Instead of dying out to the flesh and killing off and mortifying the deeds of the flesh, you had to have it your way, while you have Satan ministering to you in your mind all this time. It's a sad, sad situation and sad things. Unfortunately, that's just the way many of you are gonna go. If I was a woman, and what I read in this book right here, I would be terrified to try to move a man from his path or his course. I would be terrified to set up there to try to think that in any way, shape, fashion, or form I've used some type of witchcraft or control to manipulate his mind, to try to submit a thought to his mind to help change his course some and be instrumental in that, and then sit back and act like you ain't done nothing, like, oh no, that was his choice, that was his decision, when you have done nothing but spit in his ear the whole time. Listen, I'm talking to y'all sisters because I love y'all, I truly do. But man, you may be able to deceive that man, but you ain't gonna be able to deceive y'all. You will answer for that mess. You better get the fear of y'all in you. You better get it now. Because most of you, rather than building up homes, and you're an expert at that, destroying them, not building them up. Very few women have actually been experts at building up houses. And it's another crazy thing when you get women that will come into a beautiful home and house that's already established, and you've been welcomed and invited in, and all you do is come with drama. All you do is come with confusion. All you do is come with chaos and hell. And then you do everything you can to destroy it because it's not ran your way. Man, what a devil, what a liar. What a liar you are. You should be happy that someone has accepted you in. You should be happy that someone has actually tried to bring you into the family, be part of the family, and so that you could help build the family, and so we can live out our life and our days in holiness, true holiness, and a life of peace and happiness. See, I'm one of the few preachers I've ever heard of. Y'all heard me say it on Sabbath too. I tell men clearly when they get married to certain women, you better wait a while before you put seed in that. You don't want to put seed in that one, not right now. It ain't ready. The ground is not ready. It's not fertile. It may be fertile, but it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? All things are lawful, but it not be expedient. It's not a good time. See, women out here in monogamy, they run around and parade around like they got it all together because there's only one man and them. And the reason why they do that is because they are the neck that turns the head. They are the real true head of the home. And there are women, even in this ministry right here, that's got you believing that their man is the head of the house, but they really truly are the one who wear the pants, and they are the ones that's really truly the head. And then out in the open, they grandstand, they stage play, they put on this false humility and act like that they are the Sarah, the daughter of Sarah that you read about. They will have you to believe and make you think that they're the Proverbs 31 woman. All you got to do is watch their husband's reaction. It'll tell you. It'll tell you when they putting on that false sense of humility, and just all you got to do out of the corner of your eye, just cut your eye. As soon as they start putting that show on, all you got to do is look at that husband. You see him either turn his head away, roll his eyes, or drop his head, or shake his head like this. You know everything there is to know about that. And there's a lot of that hypocrisy going on in Israel. A hell of a lot of it going on in Israel. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Listen, we're all going to be judged by our roles. Every single one of us. And ain't nobody going to get by. Not one soul. There's no way, shape, fashion, or form that he is ever going to let a man not answer if he's walking contrary to him. Man, you are the patriarch. You are the one that you're created in the image of Yah. You are a man of war like he says he is. It's your job to provide. It's your job to lead. It's your job to guide. It's the woman's job to be in submission, to be agreeable, to be fit, feminine. It's her job to obey you and submit to you. And it's her job to do your will, man. That's what she's put here for. That's what a helpmeet is. It's her job to help you accomplish your will. And it's her job to have your seed, your children. And notice I'm putting everything your, because they all belong to you, just like she does. And I know this world is in such an utter state of confusion. It's just so sad. It really, truly is. There's going to be a few that's going to be saved, and that's it. Ain't going to be many. I can only hope and pray that one of them is you. If there's any man that's ever loved y'all enough to tell you the truth, it's been Pastor Dowell. Well, so I hear that some of the people who recently left the ministry, I had one woman who had lung cancer for smoking cigarettes for years, 30-something years, lung cancer. Black spots and everything on the lungs. I spent over 30, 45 minutes laying hands on this woman praying for her, only for her to get healed and then turn around and leave the ministry and defame and assassinate behind the scenes and character assassinate and lie on me and try to destroy my good name. It's just sad, isn't it? Well, I can only imagine how we end up doing Messiah. Can you? Hope y'all have a wonderful day. King coming.